What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. It's Christmas Eve, so happy holidays to everyone out there, whether you celebrate Christmas like I do, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Again, happy holidays to everyone watching as I'm recording this on Christmas Eve. There will be no videos tomorrow, but I am getting out 4 more videos for you guys today. This one is the Fenway Bowl coming from Boston, Massachusetts. It features what would be considered the hometown team in the Boston College Eagles, and they're going to face the American Athletic Champions, so close to getting that Group of 5 spot in the New Year's 6 bowl game. It's the SMU Mustangs. So we're going to dive on into everything Mustangs and Eagles in a bit, but before we do, again, happy holidays to everyone watching, and hey, thank you for supporting the channel throughout the regular season into the postseason. It's meant a lot to me, and if you want to continue to show your support for this channel, well, there are lots of ways you can do it. You're doing one of them right now by watching the video, and you can do more by subscribing, ringing the bell. That's the big thing to help support the channel, or whether you just simply like, comment, or share. Hey, anything you do to interact with the channel helps support what I do here on YouTube, so thank you so much. Now, what I will say is, again, I've done this before, every bowl game preview prediction. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to determine, okay, who's opting out, who's entered the transfer portal, things like that. So, Mustang fans, Eagle fans, if there's something that I just didn't, if there's something that just, if there's a player that slipped my mind or something that comes out after this video gets uploaded, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, luckily, as far as my knowledge goes, there really isn't a whole slew of opt-outs or any big additions in the transfer portal, or I should say any big losses to the portal for either of these two teams. So let's just go ahead and jump on into it here. Our first ranked Group of 5 team that we'll be talking about, again, there's only one more. The committee only has 2 Group of 5 teams ranked, but the SMU Mustangs are the 24th ranked team in the country, according to the College Football Playoff Committee. They just won the American Athletic, and how about the turnaround for this program? They got hit with the death penalty in the 80s. It has taken forever to climb back to where they are, and next year they're going to go join the ACC. So a little pre-conference matchup here between the Mustangs and Eagles. But let's dive on into the Mustangs offense first. Throughout the entirety of this season, it was led by Preston Stone at the quarterback position. 3,197 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Obviously, he went down with a season-ending injury. I believe second to last game of the regular season. So the quarterbacking duties have switched over to Kevin Jennings. Played a pretty good American Athletic Conference Championship game on the season. Has 427 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 picks. His longest pass of the year is only 32 yards, but I do think he has a little bit of downfield ability. Probably not as much as Preston Stone, but he just hasn't shown us that yet. And he's got a lot of weapons to work with, starting out with the running back room. Jalen Knighton has 720 yards, 7 touchdowns, and LJ Johnson, 544 yards, 3 touchdowns. You also have Kamar Wheaton back there as well, who has 410 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's a stable, pun absolutely intended, of running backs here for the Mustangs, and even more weapons out there at the wide receiver position. Doing some quick adding: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players that have at least 300 receiving yards. Now, none of those guys are over 525, so the ball gets distributed everywhere throughout this offense, but the pass game is very efficient, and it can be very lethal there as well with some of the downfield shots that this offense can take. Again, we'll see if Jennings is going to end up taking those shots. This offense doesn't turn the football over. It's pretty solid on third downs, and it limits the pressure that gets back to their quarterback. They're going to need to have that happen, but I'll talk about why that might not be an issue here later. Moving on over to the defensive side of the ball, well, this is one of the better defenses in the Group of 5 realm. Probably you could argue the best defense in the Group of 5 realm. They do a phenomenal job at slowing down the run. They especially did that in the American Athletic Conference Championship game, where the run game of Tulane was going to be a huge factor in that game, and it got absolutely stifled by this Mustang defensive front. That's also one of the best in the country at getting back to the quarterback. 9.5 sacks leads the way for Elijah Roberts. And the only other guy that has more than 5 sacks here, or I should say 5 or more, is Isaiah Smith. He has exactly 5. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that have at least 4 sacks, not including the other 2 that I just mentioned. The pass rush really comes from everywhere. It's very lethal, very dangerous. It's a ball-hawking secondary. They have 11 picks and 4 pick sixes on the year, along with 57 passes defended, and they're one of the best teams in the country on third down. So on paper, you're probably already thinking, hey, this is a clear mismatch. Well, Boston College, again, you could argue that Power 5 to Group of 5 talent here, right? I thought it would be Emmett Morehead leading this offense throughout the season. It has not been that way. Instead, it's been Thomas Castellanos, 2,146 yards, 15 touchdowns on the season, 6.9 yards per pass on 57% completion percentage, but there is a problem with him. He does get turnover prone. He has thrown 13 interceptions so far this season. This team doesn't really give up a whole lot of fumbles, only 5 lost fumbles on the year. If Boston College is going to want to come in and win this game, well, Castellanos in the pass game is not the strength of this offense. However, Castellanos getting outside of the pocket and running, oh boy, he is very, very deadly. He's averaging 4.9 yards per carry, 957 yards, so almost a 1,000-yard rusher. I would find it hard to believe it if he doesn't get there here in this game. 11 touchdowns. You also do have a former transfer from, I forget where, I believe Oregon, but Kai Robichaud, 691 yards and 7 touchdowns for him this year. And then you have 2 other guys that have at least 270 yards rushing on the season. The offense flows through the run, but we know that this SMU offense, or actually this SMU defense, is really, really good at defending the run. Castellanos is going to have to get the pass game going a little bit as well, which is also going to be tricky to move. It's an offense that, again, does get plagued by interceptions, but like the SMU Mustangs, they are still really good, or I should say pretty good on third down, and they're really good at limiting pressure back to the quarterback. Only 16 sacks on the season here. So for Boston College, this is definitely going to be a test of, hey, can you finally get this offense to have some explosiveness in the run game, in the pass game? Boston College has to find those big plays. Now, defensively, look, this is a run defense. For as good as Boston College runs the football, they don't really defend the run that well. And this is the defensive front that has struggled all year long. It's really going to have a hard time against the stable of running backs that the Mustangs have. And it also has no pass rush whatsoever. They're, in fact, one of the worst teams in the country at getting pressure to the quarterback. They only have 12 sacks on the year, and that is only 1 per game. That is going to be a huge factor here. If they want to beat this SMU team and they want to slow down the explosiveness, you have to find something in that run defense. That defensive front has to step up in some way. It's a defense that isn't superb on third downs and also doesn't force a whole lot of turnovers. And sure, while the pass defense is allowing under 200 yards per game, it only has 27 pass defended and 8 picks. So a mismatch on paper. How does Boston College win this game? Well, let's dive on into your what to watch for here. Just kind of some things I think you should keep an eye on while you're paying attention to this one. You could call it the keys to the game, whatever you want to call it. Fine with me. We will start with the Mustangs because they are that road team, and the keys here are really, really simple. In fact, I'm just going to call a couple of things right now. The run game is going to work to perfection. This is the Boston College defensive front that maybe has shown flashes here and there, but for the most part this season, they just have not been good up front defensively. They just have not been great. Slowing down this SMU run game is going to be a world of trouble. And then even when you go away from the run game and something that is not here on this board, you need to be able to get pressure back to Jennings and be able to slow down this pass game as well. You got to start getting plays in the backfield, forcing those negative plays. If you don't, this SMU offense is going to run all over you. But for the SMU defense, the pass rush, let it take over and let the turnovers flow. Again, this is a Boston College team that, sure, while they have Power 5 talent compared to SMU's Group of 5 talent, I don't really like saying things like that because I don't think it's true necessarily. Look, this is an SMU team that's going to control the line of scrimmage. And if the pass rush can take over and be lethal and the turnovers are flowing, Boston College is going to have a very hard time to win this game. Now, with all of that being said, there are ways that Boston College can neutralize what SMU is able to do and have a better shot here to win this game. First off, I do think the run game is going to hit kind of a wall. Now, it's going to have its good moments, and I think it'll be able to figure out SMU early on. But I think as the game goes along, this is an SMU defensive front and defensive front 7 that is going to get stronger and stronger against this Eagle run, and that's where the pass game with Castellanos is going to have to find efficiency. Now, Castellanos is going to be a hard guy to defend for the SMU Mustangs, especially with his ability to get outside of the pocket. But if they can slow him down in the run game, that's when Castellanos has to turn the pass game on as well. Defensively, you need to stack the line. This is the defensive front that it can't play the way that it's played all season long and expect them to win this game and neutralize SMU offensively. And I'll just be frank with you, Boston College is not neutral. My apologies. Boston College is not neutralizing what SMU is going to do offensively. Now they can slow it down by doing a couple things. That's stack the line. That's bring the house, bring a ton of pressure, and just hope that strength in numbers works out. And you have to be able to slow down the run game at least for a couple of drives here in this game. That is if your offense is flowing at maximum speed. You also have to control the clock. Keep the ball out of SMU's hands as long as possible. But I just think this is a mismatch from every angle. I think even if Boston College plays their best game and SMU is making some mistakes, I still don't see a way that SMU loses this game. I think this is a mismatch from top to bottom. I really think that Boston College can put up a fight here, and maybe they do for a quarter and a half, but I just see SMU being able to pull away from this thing. I think they are going to have a little bit of trouble defending Castellanos in the early going, but I think this SMU offense has too much firepower. I think the SMU defense is too good. And again, there are no notable players that are out here for this game. This is a game that's going to be played at full strength from both sides. I think it could provide a pretty interesting matchup, but I just think that SMU is going to be too strong and they'll win this game. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But as always, remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Goodbye.